During a routine day at a local grocery store, the security guard Nathan was sitting at his desk and keeping an eye on what was going on inside the shop. Suddenly, he saw a woman, a customer, enter a restricted back room, an area clearly off limits to shoppers. At first, he thought that she entered it by mistake and would return quickly. But when that did not happen, he decided to go over there and send her away. However, the color drained from his face when he realized the real reason why the woman had ventured into the back. It wasn't the first time that a customer had entered the staff-only area, but he had a strange feeling about this woman. "Where are you headed in such a hurry?" one of the employees asked him. "A woman entered the back room. Didn't you see her?" he responded, still walking, but the employee shook his head. Now Nathan really did not want to lose any more time and he started running. Somehow he knew the woman hadn't just entered the off-limits area by accident. On the security footage, he had seen the woman enter that room and he assumed she was still in there. He opened the door and he was about to say, "What are you doing back here?" But then he suddenly froze. The room was empty. Nathan entered and checked every corner, as well as behind some of the closets, but there was no one in there. The woman was gone. Nathan left the storage room and looked around, keeping his ears pointed. Suddenly, he felt a hand on his shoulder, and it startled him. He quickly turned around. He sighed when he saw that it was only Stephanie, one of the employees. "What's up, Nathan? Are you looking for me?" she said with a big smile. She'd had a crush on him ever since he started working there. Nathan started to explain that he was looking for that woman, but Stephanie immediately lost interest. "Oh, I haven't seen anyone come in here. She probably left already," she said. Nathan checked several rooms, but he found no sign of the woman. Then, all of a sudden, he heard some noise coming from the manager's office, and it immediately caught his attention. He knew manager wasn't at work today. He hurried to the door and wanted to open it, but to his surprise, it was locked. He had a master key with which he could access all of the doors in the store, but he had accidentally left it in his own office. There couldn't have been a worse timing. He ran back to his office to grab his keys and returned to the locked door as quickly as he could. When he finally picked out the right key, he unlocked the door and opened it, and he was absolutely shocked by what he saw inside. The entire office was a complete mess. Papers were scrambled everywhere, on the desk, on the chairs, on the floor. The office was empty, but Nathan had spotted the broken window through which the woman must have escaped. Nathan immediately closed the manager's office door, locking it tightly to ensure privacy. He briskly walked back to his office, concerned about the woman's intentions. Once inside his office, Nathan accessed the security system to review the footage. His fingers tapped impatiently on the desk as he watched the woman's every move, her presence on screen as enigmatic as her disappearance. The camera angles provided glimpses of her face, her determined look, and the careful way she moved. Nathan muttered to himself, noting her stops at various shelves, her brief interaction with a clerk, and her hurried pace. He leaned back in his chair. "I've got to find her," he whispered to himself, determination setting in. Returning to the manager's office, Nathan surveyed the chaos left by the woman. He attempted to piece together what she might have been searching for amid the mess. Nathan shuffled through the papers, each one whispering potential secrets. He paused, holding a half-crumpled photo that had fallen behind the desk. It was a picture of a little girl. Nathan decided to call Mr. Dunn, the manager, seeking guidance on the situation. "Mr. Dunn, it's Nathan. There's been a break-in at your office," he started, voice steady. Dunn's weary voice came through. "Just make sure it's all secure, Nathan. We'll sort it out tomorrow." Mr. Dunn instructed Nathan to leave everything as is and casually dismissed his concern. "Don't worry about it, Nathan. Probably just someone looking for quick cash. Leave it for now," he advised. Too quickly, too casually. Nathan's grip tightened on the phone. Nathan sensed panic in Mr. Dunn's voice, which he had clearly tried to hide. "Why so nervous, Mr. Dunn?" Nathan whispered to the empty room. After locking the manager's office, as instructed by Mr. Dunn, Nathan nearly bumped into Stephanie, who appeared from around a corner with a mop in hand. "Hey, everything all right?" she asked, her brow furrowed in concern. Nathan forced a smile, nodding slowly. "Just routine checks." The rest of his shift passed uneventfully, and he maintained a facade of normalcy. Nathan greeted customers with a practiced smile and answered routine questions. Nathan arrived early at work the next morning, still troubled by the previous day's events. While passing by Mr. Dunn's office, he accidentally overheard a tense phone conversation. Nathan paused, the voice on the other end sharp and urgent. "We must handle it immediately," Mr. Dunn insisted, his tone laced with anxiety. Nathan leaned closer, his heart pounding. The words "stolen proof" and "urgent action" floated through the crack of the slightly open door. Mr. Dunn was discussing the incident with the woman, mentioning stolen proof and urgent action. "No, it can't wait. If this gets out—" His voice trailed off as Nathan's shoe squeaked on the polished floor. Nathan froze, the words echoing in his mind, piecing together a puzzle he wasn't sure he wanted to complete. Caught eavesdropping, Nathan was spotted by Mr. Dunn, who quickly ended the call. Their eyes met across the room, a silent standoff. Mr. Dunn's face was a mask of surprise that quickly morphed into anger. "Nathan, what are you doing here so early?" Nathan stuttered. Just starting my rounds, sir." Backing away slowly. Later that day, Nathan finally confronted Mr. Dunn about the conversation, but the manager feigned ignorance. "It's about the woman who was here yesterday." Mr. Dunn shrugged, a too casual dismissal that set Nathan's teeth on edge. Nathan returned to his office to check more security footage. He paused, played, and rewound repeatedly. As he sifted through the footage, he finally found something that might help him figure out what was going on here. He focused on the parking lot cameras to trace the woman's movements post-incident. There she was, darting between cars, her movements hurried and purposeful. He tracked her to a dark sedan. Nathan successfully identified and jotted down the license plate number. He cross-referenced the information with DMV records. The owner's name appeared, and a flicker of recognition crossed his face. He knew this name. Nathan mapped out her address, grabbed his coat, and headed for the door. He maintained vigilance and caution as he approached the unfamiliar neighborhood. The houses here wore their age with peeling paint and overgrown yards, whispering stories of better days. He parked across the street, his gaze sweeping the quiet neighborhood. The address was a small, somewhat neglected bungalow, nestled between two larger, newer homes. Half an hour passed as he waited for any sign of the woman or unusual activity. Eventually, the woman's car approached and parked in front of the house. She glanced around briefly, her movements swift and purposeful. Nathan saw her enter the home, solidifying her connection to the address. Nathan left his car, crossed the street, and prepared to confront her directly. Nathan knocked firmly on the door. The woman answered, surprised and wary upon seeing a stranger at her doorstep. "Can I help you?" she asked, not yet inviting him inside. Nathan noticed her posture, slightly recoiled, as if ready to shut him out at any moment. Introducing himself as the grocery store's security, Nathan saw her demeanor shift to defensive. "I'm Nathan from the store security. We need to talk about your visit yesterday." "I don't know what you're talking about," she retorted, her arms crossing defensively over her chest as she blocked the doorway. When she attempted to close the door, Nathan prevented it with his foot, demanding answers. "Please, I just need a few minutes." "You can't just show up and demand things," she said sharply, her voice raising slightly. The standoff escalated as Nathan pressed her about her actions at the store. "I saw you entering the back rooms, places you shouldn't have been. Why were you there?" "It's not what you think," she began slowly, her voice a mixture of defiance and resignation. Nathan stepped closer, lowering his voice. "Then tell me, what was it about?" Nathan's mention of Mr. Dunn, however, shifted her demeanor. "Fine, come in, but we must be quick," she insisted, stepping aside. Once inside, she cautioned Nathan about the gravity and danger of the situation he was meddling with. "You don't understand what you're getting into," she whispered sharply, her eyes darting to the windows as if expecting to be overheard. The woman reluctantly began to explain, revealing disturbing details about her visit. "I was searching for evidence," she confessed, pacing the room nervously. "There are things happening at that store, things that are wrong." Nathan listened intently. "So, this isn't just a simple case of trespassing or theft?" "Exactly," she replied. "And if we're not careful, it could get much worse." Nathan stood, resolved to uncover the full truth. Claire handed Nathan a stack of worn folders, her hands trembling slightly. "These will show you everything," she said, her voice low. Nathan flipped through the documents, his skepticism apparent. Each page revealed signed orders, covert transactions, and incriminating emails implicating Mr. Dunn. Initially doubtful, Nathan realized the woman was truthful. Driven by justice, he left Claire's house to confront Dunn directly. Upon arriving at the store, Nathan found police already there, scrutinizing Dunn. An officer noticed him and handed over a card. "We might need your statement," he said. Claire later revealed her motive: protecting her child from her criminal ex-husband. "He threatened to take our son if I didn't help," she admitted, her voice breaking. Nathan reassured her, understanding her desperate actions. The store buzzed with law enforcement securing evidence. Once a mundane workplace, it had transformed into a crime scene. Nathan watched as Dunn was led away, his face marked by defeat. Standing in the parking lot, Nathan took a deep breath, a faint smile crossing his lips. "It's over," he murmured. After the ordeal, Nathan and Claire grew close, finding solace in each other. Often meeting in the dim light of the grocery store cafe, they shared stories. "You really surprised me," Claire said softly one evening, gratitude in her eyes. Nathan nodded, his guarded demeanor softened. "I guess we both did," he replied. Nathan was recognized for his role in uncovering the crime. During a small ceremony, the store manager presented him with a plaque and a bonus check. "Your bravery saved us all," the manager declared as staff applauded. Nathan smiled, steady but visibly moved. "Just doing my job," he said. With Dunn's activities halted, the store returned to normal. The air was lighter, the employees more relaxed. Nathan strolled the aisles, nodding at familiar faces. "Back to normal, huh?" a cashier remarked with a grin. "Better than normal," Nathan replied, his smile genuine. Nathan and Claire began dating, their lives weaving together in meaningful ways. Their dates were simple yet heartfelt: movie nights, park strolls, and cozy dinners. One evening, sharing a laugh over dessert, Nathan joked, "What's this feeling?" "Happiness," Claire shot back, her eyes twinkling. "Get used to it." Life at the grocery store stabilized. Nathan, now more respected, continued his work with renewed purpose. As he checked the new cameras and greeted co-workers, he felt a sense of fulfillment. "All set for the night, Nathan?" a guard asked. "All set," he confirmed, smiling contentedly. "Let's enjoy the quiet."